Hello YouTube, this is a video showing you how to play samples on the MPC with an external Midi keyboard. Okay, first let's load some samples and assign them to the MPC's pads, which is something that we have to do. Press the mode key, go to the load menu, and let's load some samples. Let's scroll to the folder where my samples are stored on the compact flash card. And let's take some Fra Angelico samples. Okay, we assign that one to pad A1, and this one to pad 2, and the third one to pad 3. Okay, let's go back to sequence and have a look if it was assigned correctly, and it was. So next, let us check the key assignment for each pad by going into program mode and pad 6, that is. Here we can set a number of different things for each pad, but let's scroll to the note assign option here, and by pressing the pads we see which note is assigned to them. So we have a C2, a D2 and an E2. Now before we connect the Midi keyboard now, let's just quickly go into the Midi sync menu, which is the mode key and pad 7, and check that receive channel is set to all. This means that the MPC will react to all of the incoming Midi data, so you don't have to worry on which channel your keyboard is set. Okay, so let's go back to the sequence and plug in our Midi keyboard to the Midi in port of the MPC. And let's have a look. It's C2, D2 and E2, which is the second octave, C, D, E keys. And it works. We even have velocity sensitivity. So far so good. Now let's go back to the MPC, press mode and pad 3, which is labeled save. We can save various different things. Programs, samples, sequences, songs, but what I usually like to do is just save the entire memory as a project. Like this, I don't have to worry about if I need to save a program or samples or a sequence. It just saves everything and consolidates everything into one folder. So hit do it. Now it asks us where you want to save it on the compact flash card. I don't want to save it to my sample folder. So let's go to the root folder and create a new folder for this project. I have to go up in the upper row there and scroll to new folder, say do it. Now I can enter a folder name. I'll just delete the new folder and then just enter something, press do it. Now it asks me where do I want to save my project file to. It is currently in that newly created folder, but let's just check anyway. This is the root level of my compact flash card, and here is the folder I just created. Go into that, press do it, and now we can enter a project name. I'll just leave it like it is, project 01. Now it asks me if I want to replace files if they already exist in the folder, which they won't, but I'll say yes anyway. And now we're done. Let's switch off the MPC and switch it back on again. So there are no samples assigned to the pads anymore because we rebooted the MPC. So let's load our project. We'll scroll to project and navigate to our folder, which we just created. Go in there, and there we have our project 01 file, which we load. It tells us do it will clear the entire memory. So if you have recorded any samples which you haven't saved yet, you should do that before loading the project. Hit do it. And now we have our samples assigned to the pads again and to the keyboard. So I hope this was helpful, and I wish you a lot of fun making music with the MPC and an external Midi keyboard. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.